Hello, Failla friends in Michigan. Ehren Jordan, owner, winemaker at Failla Wines. I am coming to you to talk to you about this great 3-bottle offer that our good friends at Eagle Eye Brands have put together for you. A little bit about Failla, because that's what's on offer. You got 3 bottles of Pinot Noir, and they hail from different areas. We've got the oh man, I got to think about it here. We've got the Savoy Vineyard up in the Anderson Valley. We've got our Lola Pinot Noir, which comes from a vineyard down in the Petaluma Gap AVA of Sonoma County. And then the final wine is the Hirsch Vineyard out on the true Sonoma coast. So a little bit about Failla. We are a small family owned and run winery based in the town of St. Helena in California. We've also got a small winery up in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, and been doing it for, well, the winery's been around since '98, so I guess that makes it 22 years officially. I've been making wine a little longer. This was my 34th harvest, so it's pretty much the only thing I do is farm grapes and make wine. We collectively like to farm our vineyards either organically or biodynamically. It just kind of depends on the site. If we own it, we farm it biodynamically. I call us a minimal intervention winery, so I'm a great believer in find great sites, farm them really well, and then the winery, understand your craft, but basically our job is to get out of the way of Mother Nature and let Mother Nature do her thing. So we don't add a lot to our wines. In fact, we pretty much add sulfur dioxide after malolactic fermentation, and that's it. So they're native yeast fermented and spontaneous malolactic. We don't fine, we don't filter, all those good things. Got my vineyard helper with me today. That's right. There are 2 other ones lurking around here too. On offer, again, kind of a little bit of a spectrum of things. So starting with the Savoy Vineyard up in the Anderson Valley, so that's Mendocino County. A little different growing conditions up there. I think of it as a little colder in the winter, warmer in the summer. So what that does is gives you thicker grape skins. The wines are a little beefier, a little more muscular, if you will, on the Pinot Noir scale. And then kind of the in-between spot would be Lola, which is, as I said, the Petaluma Gap AVA. I think we just call it Sonoma Coast because we've been making Lola longer than the Petaluma Gap AVA has been around, and I hate changing labels. So, but it is in there. So that's the sort of low spot that connects the Pacific Ocean to the San Pablo Bay. So a lot of wind comes through there, and it's relatively cool. And I would say the wines there, the Lola is sort of a medium-bodied Pinot Noir. It's not super light, but it's not as brawny as the Savoy. And then finally, as you get out to Hirsch is sort of really close to the water. It's about 10 miles north of where the Russian River hits the Pacific, in the Fort Ross Seaview AVA, and very difficult growing conditions in the spring. It tends to be really cold and foggy, and that translates into small crops. Poor set during bloom, which is kind of end of May, beginning of June. The wines out there, they kind of thread a delicate needle there. I think of them as much more lacy, but they do have a strong underpinning of acidity and the ability to last a very long time. I mean, my first vintage at Hirsch was 2001, and the wines are still great to this day. So it's I think our winemaking style in general gives these wines some longevity. We tend to be more about fruit and acid and less about like alcohol and really ripe characters. We're not a big user of new wood. I mean, there is new wood. I always say new wood is kind of like salt in food. I like salt in food. I just don't like too much salt. And new wood is the exact same way. I don't want to notice it when I smell the wine. So we use some new French oak barrels. We use a lot of larger barrels, 500 liter barrels versus the regular size, which is 228 liters. all that said, I think, I mean, I'm horrible at talking about my own wines, although you wouldn't know it from me talking now, but I think people tend to think of Failla as very transparent in terms of like what the vineyard gives is what you see in the bottle. We're not really working these wines over, and we're excited to try them with you. It's a great way to sort of check out Failla if you don't know us. Kind of gives you a little bit of a broad spectrum. We do make Chardonnay, and I believe there's another Eagle Eye brand Chardonnay offer happening because I filmed one of these the other day for that. So, you know, if you're more of a Chardonnay fan, check that out. And otherwise, enjoy. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting Eagle Eye Brands. Have a great day.